everybody, welcome to Pocket Tool Warehouse. Today we are talking about some of the biggest mistakes that a lot of people make when they first start in lock picking, and we're going to use this clear practice lock and this master lock to demonstrate some of those. As you can see, this key has different cut depths, so just as a refresher, this is the key, which is the combination to open the lock. Each of these locks has pin stacks. This one has 6. This 7th one is just a detent pin to hold the cylinder. So 6 pins. When I insert this key, all of the pins line up at the same height, and when I turn it on the back side, you can actually see the key pins inside of there at the same height. So in each one of these stacks, there's a driver pin and a key pin. Driver pins are cut all to the same size. Key pins are cut to different size to correspond with the cut on the key. So that is just a quick refresher on pin and tumbler locks. When you are picking a lock, all you are doing is pushing these pins to push the driver pins above the shear line and line them all up so that you can turn it. But just a pick doesn't cut it. You need some sort of tension device. This is a tension wrench. This is a flat twisted tension wrench, and this is the #1 mistake that we see people make when they first start out, is they will put that tension wrench in there and they will crank it down. So improper tension will always mess you up. If you're too high up in the lock, you won't be able to manipulate the pins. If you're too low, sometimes you can bottom out on the actual body of the lock. So you want it to sit just in there, and then you want enough tension so that you're just holding the cylinder barely. The best way to do this is when we have somebody in person, but obviously this is a video, but I'm just barely pushing on this. It's barely enough tension to move that lock. So I'm just barely putting tension in there. Over cranking it, you're gonna end up binding up the cylinder and it's not gonna work properly. So just featherweight tension, and then I'm gonna pick along each one of these stacks, and you kind of get used to it by feel. That's why these clear practice locks are great, because they can kind of teach you the distance that you need to travel with your pick in order to get your pins to set. So as you're moving along, you're gonna see these pins set. In the beginning, it's okay to look, but as you progress, you want to get to the point where you're feeling the pins set, and you'll do that with a slight click. And a lot of times as you're picking, you're gonna feel the tension change on you as the cylinder starts to turn. So as you're pushing these pins up, each one by one, you're gonna feel at a certain point, the cylinder is gonna turn a little bit on you. And that's okay. That means you're setting the pins properly. And as you're getting all these pins set, you wanna get them all above the shear line so that you're ready to turn it. If you end up in a situation where it's not turning, try depressing the shackle. A lot of times on these padlocks, they'll lock up. One of the things on these clear locks is, in order to get the clear body, they have to use acrylic, and it isn't as malleable or movable as metal. So you will occasionally get false, I guess, set, not set maybe, depending on how you want to view it. But you can see I'm just going pin by pin, and now I've got it, I can feel it. If I depress this shackle, I thought I had it. See what my tension's doing right now? I'm completely cranked over, and all my pins appear to be set, but we're gonna go through here and check. Yeah, everybody seems set. We're not turning. So now this is yet another mistake that we wanted to talk about. See how we're cranked over here? Sometimes it's just easier to just let it go. Take it out. If you have the key, work the key back and forth in there, kind of reset things, and then try again. So when in doubt, just try again. You can get it. There's no rush. This is a skill, it's a hobby, something that you're doing for fun. Don't be afraid to reset. And then as you're moving this, you're gonna feel, remember, you can look in the beginning, but start to feel, like I can feel this is very close right now. And if we look at our pins, we can see that it's very close. So we wanna go stack by stack and just kind of work back and forth, just a tiny little bit, and see if we can get it to open. Another mistake people make is they don't walk away from a lock if it's getting frustrating. This can be a very frustrating hobby, but get to a point where you can just walk away from a lock, or even better, if you have an easy lock to pick or one that you really know, sometimes having that in the middle of a difficult lock can help kind of boost the morale. So we're going to do that real quick just to show you. This is a master. It's got a 4-pin lock. I'm going to put this at the bottom of the cylinder, and I don't know if you can see this because of the camera angle, but I'm going to just lift this first pin. You can see that first pin is just moving up and down, so that's not that one. We're going to move, move, move approximately the depth that you think the pins are at. And all we're looking for is to get these pins to set above that shear line so that we can get this to open. And when you hear those little clicks, that means you've gotten it almost, and you're so close. So in this, we're just kind of working back and forth, getting those pins to the right level, and I can feel that it's turned, and right now, I got it. So there's my easy win. Just took a little breather. Now we can go back to the hard one. And like I said, chances are the difficulty on this is coming from the housing of the lock. One other thing that can be frustrating with these is because of the materials, they just don't operate like standard locks, but they are an excellent training aid to get you in the mindset and at the right depths, knowing how to push the pick internally and get yourself to a situation where you know, okay, I know I have this. It's a lot by feel, where you can, there are times when you're sitting here with the cylinder going, I know I got this, I know I got this. And you can feel it. So tried depressing the shackle, there, it's open. So as you can see, we got all of our pins set, and it was because the housing wasn't allowing this to turn, so sometimes depressing the shackle will help on that. So like I said, a lot of times with lock picking, it comes down to the little nuances. You want to have the proper amount of tension, right? Just a tiny little bit of tension, enough to hold that so that as you're picking, the pins stay up as you're going, and then you can open that up. So single pin picking is a fantastic skill to develop. This is a hook and tension tool from our kitchen sink lock pick set. We do carry this on pockettoolwarehouse.com. Also for this master lock, we carry comb picks, which can open it even faster, so check those out. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave comments or shoot us an email at info@pockettoolwarehouse.com. We are always happy to chat. Thanks for watching.